welcome to the Untold, your podcast for
Number one.
Oh yeah, number one
on
podcast on
KTV2.
KTV2. That's not usual, yes. And here is Hussein, Ajouz, and ALMazeedi is
You
here
know what they
too.
should do? I think they should have a
Yeah.
drum roll at the
Drum
start.
roll?
Honestly, before you say the name.
Yeah.
So I think you say it and say it in such an exciting way. Anyway, today is
Today is about the ocean. I feel.
the ocean and education.
Yes,
I mean,
and education.
technically,
Yes. But I'm kind of like, I love the ocean.
Have you ever been underwater? No, not underwater as in 30 centimeters.
No,
Actual
I
meters.
went to the Red Sea.
Okay, fair.
I not free diving, but I did my form of free diving, snorkeling. Yes,
He's been
thank you.
snorkeling.
I did that, and I did some photography too.
Nice.
Yeah,
Lovely.
coral reefs and all that. It was fun.
I think being underwater is
It's relaxing,
therapeutic in its own way.
therapeutic,
So I think today we have a professor
Mhm.
and a scuba diver.
and the scuba diver,
And
a champion too.
Champion as well.
Champion as well. So
Let's jump into it.
let's jump into it right after this.
We're back from the break to finally welcome Professor Maie Albader. Professor Maie, you have a long journey, a big journey, both in being professor and actually in a sport that we'll actually talk about in just a bit. Ahmad and I, it's a pleasure to have you on board. We're both delighted to have you here. So
Welcome
let's
on
start.
the show, yeah.
Let's start with a big question. Like, what's the journey of Professor Maie?
Thank you for having me. So the journey in scuba diving and diving, or my journey in
You
life?
start as a professor,
Yeah.
professor. Up to the point you're a professor.
Up to the point of professor,
Yes.
okay. So basically I studied in the Faculty of Science in Kuwait, a bachelor degree. Then I did my master's in the Faculty of Medicine, Physiology department. And then
Nice.
I went on a scholarship to do my PhD.
Mm-hmm.
At the time I had 3 kids, 1 girl and 2 boys. And I spent 4.5 years in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of my PhD studies, I had twins, a boy and a girl.
While studying.
Yes,
Wow.
during writing
that's-
my dissertation.
Oh,
And so
that's
I-
challenging.
I came back to Kuwait. I went with 3 kids. I came back with 5 kids and a PhD degree.
Wow.
That's an accomplishment.
Yes.
That alone is an
I'm
accomplishment.
single and struggling to
Yeah.
do an MBA, so like that must have been very challenging.
Yeah, what excuse do you have?
Nothing.
So in 99, I joined the Faculty of Medicine as an assistant professor.
Okay.
And
Nice.
my journey started from there until I became a professor.
How did you actually manage? Like the honest question is
Yeah.
like being someone that's becoming a professor, doing all these things while also having a family to take care of.
Initially, because diving wasn't something that I did before. Okay, so initially my life was work, children, family,
Yeah.
and that was it.
Yeah.
I even remember when the kids were young, I had this room where I had my desk,
Yeah.
and I had a desk for each and every one of them. So basically, I'd ask them to sit down and do their homework, and I'd be there working on my research. So this continued until they were grown up. First one went to the US to
Yeah.
do her studies. Then the second one, Gulf University. And then the third one went to San Francisco. And then the
Inshallah.
twins
Yeah.
were in high school. And that is when I decided that I have the free time now and I would like to do some sort of sport.
But why scuba diving, I guess?
Yes, why scuba diving? We went on a cruise once, and one of the stops was in Mexico.
Wow.
And I saw a booth there, which is a scuba diving booth. So I told my son Ahmad at the time, and I said, would you like to try discover scuba diving with me? And he said yes. I think he was about 9ish at the time.
Wow. Okay.
It was my first experience in Cozumel, and I did that dive, and I thought, this is what I want to do.
I can see that's something in you though. I like how courageous you are. I mean, you obviously did so much while you had a family. You still did your PhD, and you're still supporting and encouraging your kids to kind of like do scuba diving at such a young age. So are you this naturally courageous person that just likes to jump in and you suggesting and giving your kids the same experience that you had?
Yeah, I think I've always been, I'm not going to say a pushy mother, but I've always been a mom that wanted her kids to experience a lot.
Yeah.
I remember my son Ahmad when he was young and we were in the UK
Yeah.
and we went to Thorpe Park. the time that his height was the right height to go on these rides,
Yeah.
the thriller rides.
Right.
Yeah.
I'd push him just to go, and I still have a picture of the look on his face.
Oh, I gotta see that picture.
I love it.
Yeah. So I've always been that kind of. My dad was like this with me. I mean, and he always told me nothing should stop you. You just follow. You do what you want to do, and nothing should be a challenge. Even if it was a challenge, then you will overcome it.
I love that. I love that. I just want to go back. So you explained your educational journey, but what made you choose these majors, like out of high school?
Yes. When I was doing my bachelor in science, there was one subject which was physiology, and I just loved it.
Okay.
It was physiology. It's basically how your body functions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, this is because I wanted to do medicine.
So I
first.
guess from high school you wanted to be in the medical field.
From high school, I wanted to be in the medical school, and then because I graduated so young from high school, I was 16, and my dad said, "No, you're not going to go to the UK and do medicine." So I stayed in Kuwait, and I always had that passion about the body, the human body,
Yes.
how the body functions. And so I did my, then joined the Faculty of Medicine, and I did my master's in physiology.
And now you practice it kind of like, I mean, now so you teach the subject
Yeah.
now.
Yes.
So what was the kind of the fine line between deciding to teach it or practice the field?
Yeah.
I can't practice because I'm not a physician.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't go into medicine. I did science and then a PhD. And so what I do in the Faculty of Medicine, I'm classified as a basic clinical scientist. And what we do is that we teach medical students, pharmacy students, allied health students, and
Yes.
dental students.
Yeah.
So my job basically is teaching. I have research projects, and I have master and PhD students as well that I supervise.
That's
Wow,
lovely.
that's
What do you actually love? I mean, if I was to ask you to pinpoint something specific that you love about this field, what would you say?
It's basically what you teach students
Yeah.
is something that you need. It's so necessary because it's how your body is functioning, how it's communicating with each other, the brain, the lungs, the kidneys, the hormones, everything. And by the way, physiology is one of the chapters in both scuba diving and free diving.
Is it actually?
Yes, it
Wow.
is. It is.
That's-
It is. You take about the cardiovascular system and the respiratory system. So it's the,
Makes sense. I
the
mean, yeah, obviously breathing
cardiovascular,
and-
the heart, and the respiratory is the lungs.
This is going over my head because I'm not good at sciences.
I mean, neither am I. But I think,
But
yeah.
your journey, we mentioned, it's required a lot of time management, and it was a difficult journey. So who was supporting you throughout your journey?
Okay, you said time management. So basically, I work from 8 to 4.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
but these are my working hours. I know
Now
that.
or then?
No, then and even now. But
Okay.
currently, I'm on sabbatical leave because I
Okay.
was a vice dean for clinical research. I was the vice dean for academic, for administrative at the beginning, and then for clinical affairs at the last few years. So I was in the administration for 9 years,
Yeah.
and it's usually after you spend 4 years in the administration, you can take 2 years sabbatical leave, which is some sort of leave as a reward that
Okay.
you've served so long. So currently, I'm in my sabbatical leave.
Okay.
And
That's
but
fair.
even though I've been going to the faculty because I said even though I'm on leave, I'm going to commit to my teaching, and I've been committing to my teaching as well
So
During
you're
your
on-
sabbatical leave.
during my sabbatical leave.
So
yes.
it's not really a leave then.
so you could technically not teach at all, but you still
Yes,
are.
of course.
You're
yeah, yeah,
choosing
Love
to.
the commitment. Definitely, I definitely, because obviously we've only spoken for a few minutes now. Can I definitely see someone that's very committed and very you obviously absolutely love challenges.
Yeah.
But I think above all, I can see that someone that's very very curious about life. Is this curiosity just going to keep going and going, or are you deciding to dig deeper into certain things like scuba diving?
I will be digging deeper, inshallah.
Literally.
I mean, I reached as I told you, the instructor level.
Yeah.
So I'm done with that. Now I have students that I'm teaching scuba diving.
Okay.
Obviously, reaching instructor, there's also you reach the master scuba diver trainer and then the IDC staff and so on. Okay, so there are still levels in the scuba diving.
Okay.
With free diving, I'm currently doing the course, the instructor course. So this is now my next challenge. In addition to these, I am also planning to join in more of the championships.
professional kind of like level of championships.
Yeah,
in
because
scuba diving.
the one
Okay.
I just got the bronze medal for, which
Right.
is something I'm so
That's
proud
what I was
of here.
gonna
So that's
get
my
into.
bronze
So what was
medal.
that for?
Yeah.
And
This
congratulations, by the way.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. From the 9th till the 13th of May, there was the the CMAS, that's called the CMAS.
What's the CMAS?
CMAS, it is the Diving and Rescue Federation. Okay.
Well, what does CMAS stand for, though? If you know.
Do you need to embarrass me now? Just
No.
Good question. I mean, it's probably.
Okay, here we go.
I think the last
but
one is
anyway,
swimming.
I think it's written in some sort of language.
But fair.
anyway.
So you
So-
got that for what exactly? Is it
So-
scuba diving or
yes.
is it
No,
free diving?
that was free diving. So that
Okay.
was an indoor championship.
It's not in English. You're right.
Yeah.
It's not in English. Okay.
It's
Okay.
It was an indoor championship that was
Yeah.
held in Kuwait.
Yeah.
It's a world championship.
Nice.
The first time that Kuwaiti female divers joined in this championship.
Wow.
This is the
This
first
was
time.
the first team. This was the first Kuwaiti team. We were
Wow.
5 ladies. And this was the
Amazing.
first
That's
Kuwaiti team, female Kuwaiti team
Right.
to join in CMAS. And a lot of us, the girls, they managed to get national records for Kuwait.
Wow.
And I managed to get the bronze medal for something which is called static apnea.
Okay.
So just out of curiosity, the bronze is equivalent to what's
Third.
the
Third level.
not level. What's the marking criteria? Let's just call it. Like what were the criteria to get a bronze or to get a silver or gold?
Okay, so this was the bronze that I got. This was in one of the disciplines, which is called static apnea, which is breath holding.
Yeah.
With breath holding, basically you do your breathe ups and then
Yeah.
you put your head in the water and you try to hold your breath for the longest period you can.
Okay.
I managed to hold my breath for 4 minutes and 42 seconds.
Oh my God.
Point something.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. The first medalist, who got the gold medal, I think she held her breath for 6 minutes. The second around 5, and I managed to hold it 4.42.
Could I see the medal?
Yeah, of course.
I want to make sure the audience gets to look at this, and I want to get a look at it.
So this is what you get for
It is
4.
really beautiful.
4.43.
4.42.
If you guys can see,
4.42
Yeah,
point
yeah.
something.
that's
Okay.
that's hers, not mine, though. Okay. It's amazing.
I think
Yeah,
I can
have
go
a
on
look.
for probably a 50-second breath.
For the uninitiated, I want you to ask you
Wow.
to explain the difference between scuba diving and free diving.
Yes. Scuba diving is diving that you do with equipment. The equipment consists of fins, obviously a weight belt, a BCD, which is a buoyancy control device. That's
Yeah.
the jacket that you wear. You have a scuba tank.
That's a heavy outfit at the end, right?
Yeah, but once in your
water,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah,
that heavy, okay? And then your mask and your snorkel. With free diving, it's all of these except the BCD and the tank.
Oh, there's still equipment involved. I thought you didn't have any.
No, you have to have your fins, but the
Okay.
fins for scuba diving are different from those from free diving. Scuba
Okay.
diving fins are usually short.
Yeah.
Free diving fins
Are
are long,
longer.
or you can use the monofins as well.
A monofins.
But I mean,
Monofin.
so just to get it before we go for a break. So with free diving, so you don't have oxygen to use. So there's no oxygen. You're just going down.
No,
You're just
no.
jumping in.
And I love correcting
Yeah.
for everyone who says oxygen.
Oh,
It's not oxygen.
Air?
What you have in the tank is air and not
I
oxygen.
got it.
Take oxygen 4 meters
It's
and you
poisonous,
die.
no? Yeah, it's technically poisonous to take 100%
It becomes
oxygen.
toxic, yes.
Yeah,
Well,
toxic.
yes.
I'm trying to understand. There's air in the tank and
Yes.
not oxygen.
No, it
So-
is compressed air.
Compressed air.
Yes.
Okay.
Because in general,
So
in
processing
air,
that.
there's like 30% oxygen only, and the rest is like nitrogen and some other stuff.
21%.
20%. There we go.
The scientists
There we
here.
go. There we go.
I'm so sorry. You're the expert. Anyway, we're going to go on a little break, and we'll be back to continue the discussion about your beautiful journey.
Thank you.
Right back.
We're back on the Untold with our very special guest. So I want to now get that sensation you have, that feeling you have under the water when you're diving, free diving, scuba diving. What does that really feel like? Because we've been underwater for like 2 minutes max.
I mean, I've done some
know?
scuba diving, and I think I have my own experience, but you've had a more professional
so what does that
experience,
really
so.
feel like? And every ocean is different. You've been in different oceans, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I've been in the Maldives. I've been in the Red Sea. I've been in
Maldives,
Indonesia.
oh my God.
So
I've
all
been
the
in
coral
Kuwait.
leaves you've seen, all
Wow.
those special fishes and all that.
Everything.
Everything.
Everything till now. I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot more to see.
There's
Of
always
course,
more.
the
There's
ocean
always-
is the most undiscovered,
Yeah, it is.
uncharted
It is.
territories
Probably
we've
is.
had on the
You can
planet.
check my Instagram. See, by the way, I'm an underwater photographer as well. So
Whoa,
I've
whoa! Let's dial it back.
So mark me if
now.
I'm wrong. Actually, so you need a special course for that, right?
I took underwater photography level 1 and 2.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Yeah, but
It's not as simple as just going down an underwater camera and
no.
taking pictures.
We have, it's just like my camera is just a regular compact camera Canon, and then I have the casing and the lighting.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah.
Well, let's first describe the feeling you have. Yes,
The feeling. Water is
Yeah.
my meditation.
Awesome.
When I need to relax, this is where I go.
Wow.
Even now, like last week, I went out with my friends. I have my own boat. I have a captain, ناخذة B and Alif. Okay, I took them.
What is that?
It is ناخذة B is up to a certain feet in boat, and then Alif is the higher, so I can go higher with.
So you love the water.
I love the water.
You love the water.
I love the water. So like last week, I told my friends, 2 of the girls, I'm going boating. Who's going to come with me? I just need to get in the water. And they
Nice.
said, you're not going alone. We're going with you.
Nice. I mean, you always need a buddy. That's the rule number 1, isn't it?
It's not diving. I wasn't diving.
So
I
it just comes like growing. Okay.
Yeah, it's just for me going in the boat,
Okay.
in the sea. This is meditation for me. I just love to dip myself in the water,
Yeah.
and just it seems like everything just fades away.
You know, I think what I liked from experience, what I liked most about it is that how quiet it is. I'll be
Yes.
honest, it's actually scary quiet. Like to me, like personally, it's if someone is claustrophobic, it's so ironic that you're in the ocean, but you actually feel you're in a confined
How
space.
could you feel claustrophobic?
Because it's extremely quiet. We're talking quiet, you know.
Yeah.
So perhaps if we can differentiate between that, because as Ahmed asked, the scuba diving underwater experience or the free diving experience, I don't think they're the same, are they?
No, they're
No.
not the same.
Do you prefer one over the other?
Okay, I love both. Scuba diving gives me more time underwater.
Yeah,
obviously, especially because I
yeah.
like to do photography.
Right.
So yes, it gives me more time underwater.
Yeah.
Free diving is more challenging.
Yeah, of course.
And as I said, I like challenges.
Yeah.
But obviously, I'm restricted by the amount of time that I can stay underwater.
Right. And how much time? What was your max in free diving?
Max free diving, I did 27-meter depth. So I've gone down to 27 meter.
And that is how many minutes you had to hold your breath?
4.4.
No, the 4.4 was in the championship.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you count, it's approximately for every meter, it is 1 second. So 27 going down, 27 going up.
God.
It's not much. It's not. It's about 54
54
seconds. However, because this is now, it's not static. It's actually you're moving.
Yeah.
You're using more of the oxygen.
Of course, yeah.
So you tend to get the earth to breathe faster. Okay.
Okay.
So I guess I'll rephrase my question to how many minutes can you hold your breath underwater? You yourself.
The static apnea was 4.42. Now, actually doing it just for the sake of free diving in the sea, I haven't. I haven't tested that yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, something that I found very fascinating about scuba diving. When I went scuba diving, I literally just thought, jump into water, dive, and come out. But you know what shocked me most is that there's actually a full-on science about it. So the science of how if you dive for a certain depth, you cannot actually go up very quickly. You need to look at the water you're wearing.
Right.
And then my coach told me once he went for like a 41-meter dive, he had to dive at the 5-meter depth for like 24 hours maybe, like just to neutralize his body. So can you tell us more about neutralizing your body after you go in depth?
It's not 24 hours. It would no way it would be.
Okay, so it must have been less then. Okay, fair.
Yeah. So basically, that's why we wear dive computers, and
That's the one, yeah.
yeah, a dive computer.
Watch.
So you're
Watch.
allowed to spend at each depth a certain amount of time. The deeper you go, the less time you can spend. And that's because you're breathing, as we said, compressed air. And compressed air, it has nitrogen.
That's one,
So with every 10 meters, you're adding 1 bar of pressure to that in the atmosphere.
Okay.
Which means then, let's say at 40 meters, you have 5 bars multiplied by 79% or 0.79. This is telling you how much nitrogen is going inside your body. Now, nitrogen is a non-degradable degradable
Fair,
degradable element.
Okay.
It's not like you're taking in oxygen, you're releasing CO2. It tends to sit in the tissues.
Okay.
And the more dives you do, the more it sits. The longer you stay, the longer it stays in your body. You need to go up, you need to spend a limited time at that depth and then gradually
Slowly go up.
Okay?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
by going up,
Okay.
you allow the nitrogen to be released from your tissues
Yes.
and not to form bubbles.
Yeah, that's where it gets dangerous, actually. And I've heard
Yes.
if you go up fast, in case you actually need to go fast, you need to go into a decompressing room. Is that true? Is that right? Like,
Yeah,
there's
that-
actual rooms that you can get into
Yeah,
that can help decompress.
yeah, that's when you get into the decompression sickness part of it.
Just a weird question, and tell me if it's true or not. They say that if you scuba dive for there are certain factors, you cannot get on a plane after a certain time.
Yes.
What is that about?
If you dive, if you do one dive,
Yeah.
then you're not allowed to go on a plane for 12 hours. If you do
Whoa.
2 dives or repetitive dives over a week, then it's 18 hours.
What is the
This is for
relationship between
PADI.
that?
Now, other organizations may say 24 hours.
Okay, so it's so
it
it's
depends.
I'm trying to
debatable then.
understand what is the point there.
Exactly. Now, when you go up, the pressure decreases, right?
Right.
So it's more likely that then the bubbles that you have formed because of the diving, because although we say the nitrogen bubbles leave your body, there is some residue. So there is more chance of these bubbles leaving and causing
So
decompression sickness.
what would happen if that's the sickness you
Oh,
said?
decompression sickness.
Decompression
You have
sickness.
so many.
Yeah.
So
So
many
it
symptoms
is
that happen.
dangerous, and no one should do it.
Of course not.
Okay.
I've actually heard.
course not.
I've actually heard
course not.
stories though. It's actually very, very serious.
Yeah,
It's
of
actually
course
very,
not.
very
Okay.
serious.
But I mean, you have thousands and thousands of divers all over the world.
Right.
You barely hear that, we
Okay.
know the risk.
Yeah.
We know how to be safe divers. Okay, as a safe diver, I will not be risking my health to go on a plane when I've just done a dive.
Right.
I know the risk. I've took the courses.
So if you just
And safety is key.
of course, especially in that's why they say you need a buddy at all times, right? You cannot swim without having someone with you at
Yeah.
any time.
Yeah. Okay, I did actually take a course which is called Self-Reliant Diver, which
Oh.
can allow me
Okay.
to, but then I'd have to have 2 cylinders, 2 masks, 2 of everything.
My God.
And the reason I took this course was because sometimes, I would like to be left alone when I'm doing underwater photography, and I don't want my buddy to be with me all the time.
Have you gone alone before?
When I completed that course,
Yeah.
I was asked by my instructor to go alone, and it was in the Red Sea, and it was in Thistlegorm, the wreck. So yes, I did go alone, and I managed to come out not where our boat was, but where another boat was.
And you know what's scary? When I did my training, my instructor was like, you know what, we have to train on extreme situations. I was like, of course.
Extreme
Yeah.
situation.
And you know what the extreme situation was? He literally switched my tank off while I was 12 meters underwater. He's like, go and find what do you call it? You need to depend on your buddy. So you need to use their secondary.
Okay.
And I was like
Yeah.
swimming like a fish, trying to catch my buddy to grab the secondary
Yeah,
security.
this is part of training, by the way, in the
It
open
was,
water.
yeah.
So
That's why I'm traumatized for life.
No, come on. I'm gonna tell your captain. I know him, but he's my colleague in the same dive center.
Send him my regards. I understand. Yeah.
I will.
Yeah, and does your family members share this kind of passion? Not in necessarily
Yeah.
the same kind of field, but are they all driven like you, passionate like you? Because I guess that rubs off.
I think each one of them is passionate about something in their life.
Right.
Okay.
That's good, yeah.
If we're gonna talk about diving, I have 3 boys and 2 girls.
Mashallah.
My boys, I don't think I managed to convince any one of them to do
the
scuba
water.
diving,
Do the scuba
except 2
diving.
of them did discover scuba diving,
Okay.
and not with me because I wasn't an instructor at the time.
Okay.
And then 2 of my girls, they also did. One of them did open water and advanced. One of them just open water. And again, when I wasn't an instructor, so now I'm trying to push them to do other courses with me.
But perhaps it's
And,
not.
sorry,
Go-
my
go on.
granddaughter. My granddaughter, Faye, when she turned 8,
Yeah.
she became a PADI SEAL teamer.
A
And
what?
PADI SEAL team.
What is
Okay, so that's basically diving, but in the pool. There
Okay.
are certain restrictions to it.
Okay.
And then now, when she turned 10 last year, I was an instructor, and I took her through the course, the open water diver course, and she's an open
Mashallah.
water diver.
Wow.
And about, inshallah, to start her
A
advanced
10-year-old.
10-year-old.
That's actually
10-year-old,
an achievement,
yeah.
honestly.
That is-
I think, but from my own observation right now, I think it's not that they need to take the scuba diving experience per se. Like I think they're taking the curiosity mindset from you, and you're definitely someone that's very, very curious about life. And even like your sons and daughters, they're curious in their own ways, pursuing different things in their lives.
Yes.
And I think that's the one thing perhaps they took from you,
Yes.
rather than jumping into the water kind of situation.
Because what I took from my dad, I'm passing it on to my children.
And I'm sure they will pass it
Wonderful.
on and on and on. I
That
mean, a
is
10-year-old is
wonderful,
now, mashallah.
And
Anyway.
the 8-year-old, now he's a PADI SEAL teamer, so he
Wow.
has 2 more dives to finish,
Oh my
inshallah.
God.
I guess if you could share maybe a specific story you had that stands out in terms of scuba diving, free diving, and that realm.
A good or a bad one?
Let's
One you would like to share on the Untold, you know?
something to remember.
Something to remember, the most amazing experience was when we went to the Maldives last year.
I can only imagine.
And
my God.
we were on a liveaboard, which they call it safari, but it's actually a liveaboard. So it's a boat that you spend 7 nights on, and you go from one place to another every day. And in one of the places that we stopped at night, you had the lights on from the boat, and then the whale shark came. 2 whale sharks.
Oh my God. So wait, you were on the boat or
Wait.
underwater?
No, we were on the
On the
boat.
boat, okay.
No, but we were on the boat.
On the boat,
but
but
we all
2
jumped
Oh my God.
to be with the whale shark.
Oh wow. Okay, so you consciously actively jump towards to. Okay, I thought you were gonna be
because
like jumping away.
The whale shark doesn't. I mean, it eats
It's just a whale shark.
phytoplanktons.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
eats phytoplanktons. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So
it
we
sounded
jumped-
more dangerous the first time you said it.
No, it is the most amazing creature.
Wow.
The most lovely creature in the sea.
Wow.
It just has beauty. By the way, the whale shark and the manta, I love them both. I love them.
Perhaps you see beauty in the ocean that you don't see elsewhere.
Yes.
Especially with her
yes.
photography. I want to see your
And
account.
I did jump, and
Yeah.
I did take my camera.
Yeah.
Did you
And I
did you
photographed
capture a
this,
photo
yes,
of this
yes, it's on
white
my-
Would
it's
love
on
to
my
see it at one
Instagram.
point.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. That
Definitely
is
would look at that.
amazing.
Yeah.
Before ending the episode, if there's one thing you believe you learned from being underwater, like being in that quiet environment at peace, what has it taught you?
Patience.
Patience?
Patience.
It taught you patience.
Patience.
Okay.
Patience. Yes. Whenever I'm in the water, as I said, I try to meditate and I try to remember that I have to be patient with everything in life. Life is not easy. It's
Yeah.
never been easy.
Yeah.
Okay. And just let things go.
Yeah.
Just let it go. Let it go.
I
let
love
it
that.
Go. I
That's
just let it go under the water.
As
I
they
think that's a
say-
big takeaway
I say like
from
let
this
it flow,
interview.
just flow.
Let it flow.
Yeah.
We'll play a quick game before I wrap, okay?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Very fast, true or false. Diving is for everyone.
Yes.
Failure is part of success.
Yes.
That was a fast answer.
Ocean is prettier than the lands.
Yes.
Give her a no.
Sharks are angry and aggressive.
Yes.
You should avoid scuba diving.
No.
I'll just add a little
Yeah.
thing about sharks.
About sharks.
This
Depends
trip
on the
that
shark.
we went to the Maldives,
Yeah.
it was a shark trip.
It was a shark
So
trip.
we went there
a shark
just for
trip. Wow.
sharks.
Okay.
So we saw the tiger shark, the leopard shark, the white tip shark.
There's a tiger shark? I don't
Professor-
want to see a
leopard
tiger shark.
Everything.
Professor, I've never heard of someone that goes to a shark.
Towards the
It,
shark.
it was a shark trip. Okay?
Shark trip.
Okay, I like
Yeah.
it.
That's
Yeah.
I like
amazing.
it. Yeah.
Well, thank you for your time, Professor. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
being on the show.
Thank you.
We had a pleasure.
Thank you. Truly,
talking.
thank you.
Thank you for having me.
No,
course.
it's our
Yeah.
pleasure.
We'll be right back for the wrap up.
We're back to finally wrap up this episode. Beautiful episode.
Yeah.
Here we are.
I learned a lot today.
Scuba diving.
That you can pet white sharks, maybe.
And then you actually travel to see sharks rather than escape from sharks. Did you know about the actual science where you cannot, for example, you can't be on a plane after, or you have to...
That's why I was confused when you guys
No,
brought
yeah,
that
yeah.
up. I was like, what's the correlation?
You know,
but I guess it makes sense.
It's actually interesting. You know, before you actually jump into the ocean to take a course, you'd literally go into lectures.
Oh,
For
wow.
real. You
Yeah.
actually go on a one-on-one lecture where they teach you the science of the cells and oxygen and air and nitrogen.
I gotta ask you, what got you into doing it?
Honestly,
Yeah.
it was summer
Uh-huh.
and we were bored and And we were like, you know what, just discover something new.
Let's try
And
it out.
when we jumped in, I think it's beautiful. Each one had his own experience, but it's definitely something I'd love to try elsewhere in the world as well. I've tried it in Kuwait. I haven't tried it anywhere else. I mean, the professor has tried it in Maldives.
Yeah.
So that's a
yeah,
different
You
experience.
can't beat that. Can't beat that.
I don't think anyone can.
Well, join us next time for a brand new guest and more stories to share right here on The Untold. Good night.
Good night.